This is Xperience Sessions on indigomusic.com. I'm Adarsh. I'm in conversation with Girish Pradhan from Girish and the Chronicles, who went super big worldwide recently with their appearance on America's Got Talent. Thank you so much for joining me on the show, Girish.
Hi, what's up? Thank you for having me on the show.
How are you doing? How's the feeling been lately after, the global success and the viral hit of, America's Got Talent's performance that you went? How's the vibe been lately?
Yeah, it's going great. We're feeling very positive about the whole thing, as it should be. The band is, we're just generally feeling good. We're having a good time. And yeah.
Take it from the top, from the beginning. You guys from Gang Talk, one shared love for rock and roll, and suddenly now you're echoing across the world. How did Girish and the Chronicles start? Was it one jam session, or was it few friends in college who started a band together, or something deeper?
Yeah, I think what happened is we're all kind of from a very all from musical backgrounds. Basically,
Right.
my mother is a singer. My dad, he's also like very much into literature and stuff like that. And so it was the same for Suraj. His father is a trained tabla player, for example. And for Nagin also, it was pretty much the same. Yogesh is my own brother. So we had that thing going on. We had the whole music environment growing up. But I think learning music together with Yogesh kind of, we were already a band since we were like really young. So I think we got really used to that. And by the time we reached high school, we already had bands of our own. And Yogesh was actually the drummer of our band, and I was like the singer, rhythm guitarist, and stuff. And Suraj was on the other part of Sikkim, basically. So he also had a band with his friends out there, which was doing pretty good. And surprisingly, we would like bring in like crowds of 5,000, 7,000 people as school bands.
Back then.
Yeah, the
Right.
scene was pretty good. And I'm talking about like 2003, 2004, like that. So quite a long time back. Yeah, so I think we got really serious about it at an early age. So by the time we were in college, especially for me, I was doing my engineering, and by the time I was like about to complete about a year, I just decided I have to go for music. I need to create a band. And it was during those times there used to be these annual music festivals of college and stuff, right? Band competitions and all that. So Suraj's band also would come to compete. So I was quite impressed with his guitaring, and he kind of knew me from my older concerts. But yeah, we found a mutual respect for each other, and I told him anytime I decide to, form a band or something, I will definitely give you a call. Yogesh was still in school, and he was about to head for Chennai to study his sound engineering. So very soon he left also. So when I left college, and the first thing I did was call Suraj again. Hey, now it's time now.
I have a plan.
So we met up, and he introduced me to Nagin, our drummer. We're talking about some 2006 or something. And then it was going good. We were performing in these small pubs and around Darjeeling, Gangtok, around these places, but there was no direction. No, I just knew this was not the way to go, because unlike cities like Bangalore, Mumbai, which has seen rock scene and bands making it big for such a long time, for us there was no one. It was like we had no clue what to do. And I decided I have to go out venture and being the adventurous types. And I've always loved exploring, going, taking risks. And so I told the guys, we were like, they were doing the same thing. They were working in different pubs and clubs, session musicians and all that. And I was like, I started exploring. I started working as a music teacher in Gurgaon and in a school. And later I moved to Delhi for a few months. And then again, I came back. I went to Nepal. I stayed in Kathmandu for a year. So you could say I was like learning what the whole world is all about. That's when I recorded my first single. It was named Angel, which is also a part of our album, one of our albums. And that's where it started. The song kind of was sent to across the northeastern platforms, here and there. And there was this magazine called the Northeastern Times, from Meghalaya or somewhere. And they also kind of helped us, our music kind of reached to a lot of people. And the other thing was YouTube was kind of new at that time. And I was like utilizing that a lot for the last 1, 2 years and all, So because of both these factors, I started getting. I was also performing as a solo artist in a venue called Cafe Live and Loud in Gangtok. So it was just me and Yogesh like singing along, but Yogesh had to leave, of course, to complete his sound engineering, and then eventually again came back. He was like, "Hey, I will start playing rhythm for you." I said, "Come." And then we had another guy named Noel who was like giving me backing with his bass. And then eventually I got a call from IIT Guwahati. They have this big festival called Al Sharinga every year. That year was a huge one. There was this band named LUYT who had who was the headliner, and we were a part of the competition. And Suraj suddenly called, "Hey, you are not going without me." He was already kind of a part of another band, but I kind of brainwashed him and forget about that time to continue our story from a few years back. And then how it started, the whole Girish and the Chronicles thing, and a funny thing is, Chronicles is when I was living in Kathmandu. So there was this phase I was all alone doing nothing. I was like, there were these few musicians, like top musicians of Kathmandu. They invited me to jam, and they were like, "Hey, and the leader of the band said, I am naming this band Chronicles." I said, "Oh, that's a cool name." And then he left for another country. The band got disbanded in just like 1 week, but kept that name for myself,
Right.
Chronicles.
Yeah.
It's like one of the true stories. So I told the guys, "See, guys, the Girish Pradhan YouTube channel is already doing well. Angel is doing well. So my name is already kind of out there. So let's utilize that, let's make the most out of it." So I just asked them, "Let's name it Girish and the Chronicles so that it'll be easy for anyone to relate to the band." And yeah, that's how the journey started. So you could say this is like the first story of the band.
Right. That's pretty interesting. Doesn't happen overnight, right? There are so many stories when you think about it.
Oh, no way. So Angel was recorded, when it was first released. The article mentioned 10 years in the making. So it was already a long time since I had started my journey as a musician. I never did that. I just don't know. The main reason why I didn't go for it was like, I just never liked the sound I used to hear from other bands in India, at that time. And it was only post 2000, suddenly there was this digital era, and all the bands started sounding really good. And that's where I also started getting the enthusiasm, I guess. Yeah, like these factors, I guess.
A world that's full of trends, especially you spoke about the digital era now. There's so much when you talk about, the latest trends and it keeps changing. So how's the ride been for you guys staying true to hard rock or rock and roll in a world full of trends?
In our own way, we've also evolved here and there, but at the very core, we've like stayed true to who we are, like what we were doing since school. The whole thing was like, if there's something you really really love doing, if you're happy with what you're getting out of it, if you're just having a good time. So to me, it was that, I'm really good in this particular thing, and I'm gonna show it to the world, and I'm gonna work towards it. We were never deep thinkers in this case. It was like, what? Let's just keep rocking. All four of us were pretty much the same. But I mean, if anyone digs our album, if people are listening to some of our albums in a deeper manner, they will find there are a lot of complex stuff in between. There will be a lot of progressive stuff. There will be stuff like that. But generally people just know us as like, they relate us to bands like Guns N' Roses or bands like Def Leppard or some Iron Maiden. People have that impression
Yeah.
about us, and we know why, because we've kind of kept that image, and it would, which is what we wanted as well. So I think it's going great. We've just never been the kind of people to follow the trends. In fact, it's one of the most prominent lines in one of our songs named "Rock and Roll is Here to Stay." It's like it literally says, "They tell you to follow the trends and keep up with the times, but I need to hear them roaring guitars to find my peace of mind." So that's basically what it's all about.
Yeah. We'll talk about your song "Endless Road" got that released back in 2016. It blended Indian folk rock and was shot at the Run of Kutch. The
Mhm.
video, the visual, you guys, everything looks so beautiful. How did that cross-cultural experiment with Indian folk and rock shape your identity as a band? Was it like a milestone? Did it just randomly happen? Talk to me about that experience because the music video looks like extremely unique and extremely
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. Yeah, actually, the truth is, I think a lot of people who are now discovering the such songs, they probably don't know that Endless Road was actually a part of. It was kind of a jingle for a brand named Roadster by Myntra, and when they approached us, we would like a rock band to create a song for us, an anthem. And this was the first idea that came to my mind because this was a riff. The basic song was already kind of there, because we had been working on it for more than 2 years before that. And I think it was there was another project we were approached for as well, and we had that idea ready for it, and we kind of utilized it here. But the difference was this was something we would not usually do as a band. We were more like, our image was more about like ACDC and stuff like that. Okay, this is a that kind of a band, but no one would be expecting anything like Endless Road. It was a very culturally, you know, influenced song, and it seemed perfect for the theme they had. It was about wanderlust, it was about open highways, and it was about India, right? So there was this huge cultural shift at that time, I think, as I mean, according to what I feel, because I was also kind of new to the cities, right, at that time. And I saw that a lot of people were like going for this whole wanderlust experience. A lot of travelers around, a lot of bikers around, going to far off places, discovering new places. I think it was a new trend at that time, probably. And the whole thing was like matching really well, and they also really liked it.
Also, let's talk about the main question, the big one. Let's cut to America's Got Talent. How did that even happen? I mean, one day you're playing in Europe, the next performing in front of Simon Cowell and the other judges, getting a standing ovation from the audience as well as the judges, and especially Simon, who's not easy to impress, said that he was blown away by this performance, and he also complimented your voice as well. So that's really unique, and it seemed like a very genuine compliment coming from all the judges. So, what was that moment like, and what's the journey forward in America's Got Talent?
It was quite a unique experience, like how Simon has asked, did you ever think of, like, maybe this was not going to happen for you guys? And I did answer very truthfully, because this was a new environment for us. We had never tried anything like this. So but I think as soon as we reached that place, and then the whole thing started, and there was like everything was really exciting all of a sudden. It was like everyone was so good, the producers, the people around, and such nice people everywhere.
It is like a special moment, but I think once you were done with the performance, you also interacted with the host and you said like it felt like a regular show because you do this day in and day out. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
true.
it was regular and special at the same time, if you could probably connect that balance. Also,
True.
I had one more question with respect to the song that you chose. You did a cover of Set Fire to the Rain by Adele. Why that song? Did you already have a cover version, or was it done for this particular performance? Was it chosen?
Yeah, well, it was more like we were discussing the whole thing and how to go about it and all. We were actually choosing between our own song "Rock and Roll Is Here to Stay" and like an idea was like, how about we do something relatively new that the new generation can relate to, and something that we can change to something that sounds like us. We wanted to make it sound like our own song.
Right.
Theory was, let no one realize which song this is, until the verse and all starts. So that was the whole idea. Let it sound like GATC, let it sound like the whole vibe we are all about.
Now, after all this, I think for Girish and the Chronicles, The world is listening. So, what's next for Girish and the Chronicles? Give us a bit of the scoop as to what's coming up.
Yeah, this year has been adventurous, just like most of the years, but this time the whole with the whole world kind of getting to know about us now, and I think we are already planning a lot of big things. We are planning tours everywhere, and we are working on a lot of new songs and stuff like that. We recently signed to new management. Not recently signed, and we had been working in the background, but now everything is like far more. I feel really good about it. Their name Gravity Talent. I don't know, maybe you already know about them, but yeah. So we are working hand in hand. A lot of great things in store. So we're looking forward to a very productive year, actually.
Right. It's going to be a great ride, a roller coaster one with a lot of ups, I'm sure. Thank you so much for joining me, Girish. It was wonderful talking to you, and all the best for your future endeavors. Hope to catch you sometime soon again, man. Thanks a lot for joining me.
Thank you.